East Down veterans, hello, good morning, and welcome to this video, which is our end of year video, so we can reflect on everything that we've done with East Down Veterans Trust over the past 12 months. I trust everyone's had a fantastic Christmas, and here we are, New Year's Eve. What a year, what a year. It's absolutely flown over for us at East Down Veterans Trust. We've been so busy and we've done so many things, and it's changed so much from where we were a year ago. I think it's only right that we do this video just to reflect on things that we've done. And also we're going to talk a little bit about 2022, going forward into 2022, and what we want to achieve and what our goals are going into the next year. So if we go back 12 months, it was just over 12 months ago, we actually opened the doors to East Down Veterans Trust Veterans Hub in Seaham. It wasn't long after we opened the doors that we were hit by restrictions from the government. Obviously the Christmas, New Year happened, the COVID pandemic, the stats shot up. So the government locked us down again for the second time. When that lockdown happened, we were restricted. So we wanted to do social inclusion groups on a Saturday morning, and we got told by the government we were restricted to 15 people, a maximum of 15 people in those groups, which wasn't a massive problem because we were just starting off, so we didn't have many people coming in. So them groups at the time had approximately about 4 or 5 people coming in. And that's including like volunteers and staff that were coming in there as well. Just to show how much that's progressed over the last 12 months, on the last Saturday before the Christmas break, we actually had 31 service users come in and use that service, which was absolutely fantastic. Just to show how much it's progressed over that year. And it's not just for veterans, it's for veterans' families, it's for children, it's for wives, it's for partners, it's for spouses, for husbands, it's for anyone that wants to come in and access it. It's a great group on a Saturday morning. Come in, sit down, have a brew, have a chat, and talk about really, you know what, anything you want to talk about. And it's developed, and we've had so many people come in over the year. It's not been the same 31 people. It's been a mix of people. And the program for that, for the Saturday morning group, it's progressed that much, and the model that we've built for that has been so successful that we now get requests to do these groups in other places. So we had Evenwood come forward to us at the Randolph Community Centre in Evenwood. They came forward and said, will you do a group for us up here? So we've now started with the Evenwood group. That we were doing that once every 2 weeks, but after the new year we'll be doing that weekly. And once we get back into the swing of things and get up there. And again, that's another great group. We've seen a number of people coming in, want to talk to us, ideas. We've asked them what they want to do, and so forth. And you know, I'm looking forward to 2022 up at Evenwood. It's just helping us expand our model, what we've produced and what we've made in Seaham across the county, and where it's needed and where it's there to support the veteran community at the end of the day. So, like I said, at the start of the year, we had the group starting, the social inclusion groups. Not long after that, we had the grand opening of East Down Veterans Trust Hub. Now, the hub obviously is based in Seaham, and we decided we had to do a grand opening, get the word out about us and what we were doing and everything else. At the time, we were still under restrictions from the government, but they weren't as severe as what they were at the start of the year. We tried to keep everything, for example, to a 2 metre distance, and kept everyone in bubbles, all that sort of good stuff. We had Graham Morris, who's our local MP. He came along and cut the ribbon for us, and did the grand opening of the hub. We had a couple of glasses of champagne floating around to celebrate what had gone on. Dornier Community Centre, who have been fantastic supporters of us, they also produced food for us for on the day. So I think it was curry we had going around for the day for anyone that was a bit hungry. So it was absolutely fantastic day. So we had the grand opening. That was us officially opened as East Down Veterans Trust. Around that time as well, we also unfortunately had the passing of Prince Philip. So what we did to mark that, we did a parade down the cenotaph. Some local veterans went down. We did a parade for Prince Philip as a mark of remembrance. We did the last post down there. One of the local councillors and one of our trustees, and someone who's always in the hub with us on Saturday morning, was Dave McKenna. He did some decoration around the Tommy statue on Seaham front, just to mark exactly, you know, how important Prince Philip was to us, the veteran community, because Prince Philip was a veteran himself, and that's something that shouldn't be forgotten. Obviously, you know, serving in the Royal Navy. So we had the Prince Philip Memorial. Moving on from the Prince Philip Memorial, we then moved on towards Armed Forces Day. And it was just before Armed Forces Day, we were starting to get volunteers coming into the hub. And I had a local veteran coming into the hub called Angie, who was volunteering, and she made me aware of another charity in the area, which was Spare 10 for Ben. And what Spare 10 for Ben were doing was we're producing benches, and these benches were getting placed around the different areas in the northeast. Now with the benches, it has like a really special quote on there, and it has a plaque that's all designed to Ben. Ben was a local serving soldier who unfortunately took his own life. So his mum Claire and his brother Liam came together and they created a spare tent for Ben. And I was just totally intrigued and enthralled by it, and I was, I wanted to know more. So Claire agreed to come down to the Veterans Hub and meet us and have a chat. So she came down, had a chat, and I just said, I just asked straight out, can we have one of the benches here at the Veterans Hub? Because I just thought it was so fitting that he was a local kid, a local guy, and to have one of the benches there, for our veterans that were coming in, because we have a lot of veterans that come in that are struggling with mental health, who have previously had suicidal thoughts, or some people who might just be having a down day and they can just read the quote, just letting someone know that cares about them. So Claire and Liam gladly agreed straight away that we could have a bench there. I told them they didn't need to raise any money. We'd raise the money for it, so it was £700, and that led us on to Armed Forces Day. Armed Forces Day, we had a massive raffle going on during the day. We'd just previously met our local Tesco champion, that was Joanne Ray, and Joanne donated for that raffle an Xbox in for us, so that was like our top prize. Then we had a couple of local veterans, went around all the local shops, all the local garages and stuff like that, and got loads of vouchers, and we were able to do a massive raffle. Armed Forces Day as well, we weren't able to celebrate it the way we like to. So what we did was, there was a parade again down at the Cenotaph in Seaham. We put a stall up next to it. We sold some hoodies, t-shirts, stuff like that. And through that and through the raffle, we were able to raise £1,500, which was fantastic. So then we were able to go forward and have the money there for the spare tent for Ben bench. The spare tent for Ben bench is actually made by a guy called Sam Lonsdale. Now his dad, Ray Lonsdale, actually made the Tommy statue down the same front. So you can imagine the workmanship that's gone into the bench that's at the Veterans Hub, and anybody who comes on the Veterans Hub is welcome. They'll see it as soon as they walk in. Absolutely fantastic. So we had the money there. We ordered it, and shortly after that, it was installed, and it's been there. It's been there since. It's got a nice little plaque on it, all about Ben, and we have a couple of veterans come in on a daily basis. They polish up the plaque and stuff like that, and it's well looked after. And I'm proud to say now that working alongside Claire and Liam going forward, we're much stronger together, and we've got plans to do things going into 2022, which I'm not going to release on this video. However, there are plans afoot there to do a lot more work together. So after that Armed Forces Day and the spare tent for Ben, we went into our biggest fundraiser of the year. Now this was absolutely massive, because personally, when we first got approached about this, I didn't think we'd be able to pull it off. We'd had a couple of people who had been doing parachute jumps for us and skydives and raising money that way. The first one that did it was one of our staff members, Megan. She did the first parachute jump, and we had a few people afterwards do it. And then we had another one of our staff members, Bonnie, and a couple of our friends do one in April. When they did the one in April, we were approached by the parachute centre and said, look, do you want to do a fundraising day, but you'll need 50 people to skydive and do tandem skydives for the day, for it to be all about you. At first we were like, 50's a lot. 50's a lot of people to try and get. But I was persuaded by my staff, and they just said, look, let's just give it a go and see how many we get. We hit about 60 straight away. So it was a goer. It was a goer, and what a day it turned out to be. We didn't actually have 60 skydive on the day. We had just over 40, I believe, which was workable. We were still there at 7:30 at night with some of the people that were skydiving. We had stalls set up. Again, we had our stalls set, our hoodies, t-shirts, stuff like that. We had craft beer stalls set up. We had other local stalls from the area come along. We had little cartoon fellas dressed up as Mario and Sonic and all them, dotting around the area for all the little kids and that. We had the little donut guy come in. We had entertainment with the local band coming in and playing some music. The bar was open on site at the parachute centre, and it was absolutely just an amazing day. People, when we said if you can raise at least £400 for us, that'll be absolutely fantastic. They went totally above and beyond that. In the end, we walked away with £21,000, but then we had to pay the parachute centre for the day. So in the end, we ended up with about £13,000 from that day. It was absolutely amazing day. It was brilliant. The parachute centre put a little drone over the top so we could see all the stuff from it as well. And I'm happy to say that Parachute Day 2022 is coming back, and it'll be with us on the 29th of August next year. So our second Parachute Day is going to be the 29th of August, and we'll release more details on that going into the new year. So we had the Parachute Day. Now, while all this was also going on, the restrictions are being lifted, we also started doing our family trips and our social inclusion program, which was one of our main goals in our constitution when we started. So our family trips, we started doing family trips throughout the summer. We did the likes of Beamish, we've done Eden Camp, some people went paddleboarding, some people went trampolining, we've done the Hartlepool Naval Museum. So there was lots of different things going on. On top of all that, we started doing fishing, so we did a couple of fishing trips going out. We hired a chartered boat, and we took I think it was maximum 10 veterans we could have on the boat going out. We did 2 of them, and since then it was a little bit hit and miss. It was all over the place. So what we did is we put a structure behind it. So now the first Sunday of every month we do fishing. We've got fishing rods and stuff in the hub for anyone who wants to try it but's never actually been out fishing. Now, because of the weather at the moment, we're trying to keep it on land, so we're going off the pier until about March, April time, and that's when we'll start going off on the boat again. The boat's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. You know, you're stuck in an area with 10 other people, and the banter's absolutely fantastic. On the pier is a little bit different, a bit further spaced out, but again, it's still really, really good, you know, to get you out, totally relax and just listen to the waves crashing in against the pier. It's mindfulness. If you're struggling with your mental health, honestly, fishing is just so relaxing. It's absolutely fantastic. Even if you're not struggling with your mental health, but you've had that little bit of a stressful week, you know, be it work, family life, whatever's going on there, fishing it's absolutely awesome. The family trips, we've decided to do them on the 3rd weekend of every month. So we've now brought Rainey in, and Rainey's organising all the family trips for us, and she's doing an absolutely fantastic job. So the first one for 2022, restrictions pending from our Boris, is it's going to be a trip to Northumbria Zoo. Northumbria Zoo we've got a bus on to take everyone up there as well, so we can take a maximum of 30 people up there. So it'll be free bus travel, free entry, and it's been fully funded. Last year we were funded by Primary Care in Durham. We've still got a little bit of that fund left that we're using, but also going into the new year, the National Lottery have stepped up and they've given us a bit of cash, like, to say the least. £7,000 for our social inclusion program going into 2022. So we've got that going on as well going into the next year. Like I say, we've got Northumberland Zoo planned. There's local farms that we're going to be visiting, like Water Valley at the end of the year. Rainey's already planned a trip down to York Christmas market. You know, so there's all these things going on. I think Whitley Ice Rings on the list as well. So there's loads and loads on there that we're going to be doing over there with the family trips going forward. I've already mentioned about the Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club's obviously the first Saturday of every month, but every Saturday, what we've done this year will continue into 2022. And what that is the social inclusion group on Saturday morning, just coming in, sitting down, having a brew and talking to someone. We did a lot of walking groups throughout the summer, and we'll revisit that next year as well, and we'll look at bringing that back. On top of that, we also had the model group. Model group was absolutely fantastic, where we got loads donated from Models for Heroes, and the lads and lasses come in and started building all the models. Then at the end, obviously Through a Soldier's Eyes exhibition came on in Seam, so they made a great big model. It's about 4 meters long by about 2 meters, and it starts in like World War I with the trenches, and it comes down into an airfield, then into a poppy field, and it finishes with a nice big monument on the end. And again, that's all the hard work from all the veterans that were coming in and giving their time, and they'll tell you that, you know, they might have been struggling with mental health, but this modelling group, it really, really helped them. It was like therapy through arts and crafts, and it was absolutely massive for them. So going on into 2022 and finally looking at the last bits of this year and everything we've done this year. So Eastern Veterans Trust, what did I expect a year ago? I didn't expect the year that we've had. It's gone above and beyond any expectations I ever had for Eastern Veterans Trust within the first year. I told one of my trustees about 4 months ago, I had a 5-year plan. To say that I'm already on year 5 is an understatement. I'm probably on year 6 or year 7. Everything's progressing that quickly because the demand that's there, and also the model that we've created for the veterans within the area was never here. So it's really been accessed, and I hope that continues into 2022. In 2021, we've had over 180 service users walk through the door. That's absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. We've supported over 10 homeless veterans within the area. That's been a real bone of contention for me, and it's something that really grips us a little bit, is homelessness and procedures that are in place. And we work alongside housing groups, and we work alongside Durham County Council and stuff like that. And it's great what they've got in place. Supported accommodation, I'm not a massive fan of it. I'm beyond totally honest about that, because it's not regulated. So I feel as though some supported housing groups do take the mick a little bit with regards to that. However, it's great that we can get veterans into supported housing and we can get veterans into the housing they need. But the problem we have is when they are homeless, it's the emergency housing is just not there, and that's when we're asking, you know, where can we put them? Can we put them into hotels and stuff like that? So that's, I'll talk about that in a few seconds, but that is one of the goals for 2022. Also going on what we've done this year, we've got addiction support. So we were the first veterans charity to do addiction smart recovery within County Durham. That was absolutely massive. That started, and we're really going to push that at the start of the year, the start of 2022. We want to push as many people to come forward who require support with addiction. You know, it's there, and it doesn't matter what the addiction is. The addiction can be gambling, it can be alcohol, it can be drugs, it can be sex, it can be anything you like. You know, if you've got an addiction, you've got an addiction at the end of the day. And if you want to help support that addiction and help support the urges, that's what smart recovery is all about. The social inclusion program, like I've already said, well, that will continue into 2022. This year it's been absolutely huge, through Saturday morning groups, through breakfast clubs, you know, through everything we've done, the modelling clubs. We now got a photography club that's supported by great annual savings. They went out and bought us some cameras. Durham County Council Foundation are already starting to support it. So, you know, we've got all these different things going on as well. And the mental health support, we're really going to step up our mental health support within the next year. What we find is that we can do therapy, not just through counselling. Even though we've had some people go through counselling, it's not just about that. You can also do therapy through other things, such as walking, such as arts and crafts, such as photography. We've had one veteran who picked up a camera at the start of the year and now started his own business, and has totally turned his life around through picking up a camera. You know, really enjoying it, learning a new skill, and wanting to get out there, get up in the morning and take the picture of that sunrise coming up over the North Sea, you know, taking the sunset going down. It's giving them a purpose to get up, go out and do something, enjoy, and learn a new skill at the same time. So 2022, what's going on in 2022 for us? Everything I've talked about in 2021, we're going to continue it on into 2022, supporting the veteran community as the best we can going forward. Not just the veterans, the families, the children, you know, everyone that's associated with the veteran community. We're going to be doing that going into 2022. I've already spoke about emergency housing. That's one of the big things that we've been working on. We've been working on that for a few months now, and hopefully we'll have that nailed in the next couple of weeks, months, where we'll have emergency housing in place for the veteran community. And our big goal for 2022 is to start working on suicide prevention within the North East. The national suicide rate between 2019 and 2020 actually reduced, but didn't reduce in the northeast of England. It actually went up in the northeast of England, and that's for a number of reasons. And that's something we really need to start looking into, not just at the rates, but actually why that's happening. So I asked someone the other day, I was like, why did that person take their life? And they said, oh, it's because of his mental health. But why? What caused that problem with the mental health? What caused that stress? You know, and that's something that we really need to look at. What caused that? You know, all right, the northeast of England, deprived area. It's an area where universal credit was rolled out. It's an area with less jobs. You know, so then we need to start looking at, okay, is this people struggling with the benefits? Are they struggling with finance, with gas and electric? We've done loads over the last year with gas and electric. We're alongside another company called NEA, who have provided loads of our service users with money on their meters when they need it. We've supported people with their Christmas hampers, with Christmas presents for children. And this is all things and all worries that people have, and we try to remove that so it reduces the stress and anxiety, so they don't actually have them suicidal thoughts. Yeah. Another one's housing. Where they live, do they want to move? How can we support people through that? How can we make someone's life better to the point where they don't feel as though they need to take their life? And we've got big plans afoot going into 2022, and I'll release that as they start coming forward in the coming months. But that's it. that's 2021 in reflection. That's 2022, what we're going to be doing going forward. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching this. It's New Year's Eve. I hope everyone has a great New Year's Eve. Please stay safe. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, which isn't a lot. But listen, have a good time, and I'll catch you all real soon. Thank you very much for watching. Toronto.